Hey everybody, I'm going to show you how to make my regular dough recipe, see if you like it. I use it all the time, it's very consistent. The key to this recipe is using weight and not dry measures like cups. We're going to use a measuring cup here and zero out the scale so we can weigh how much water and how much flour we're going to use. Right now I have it zeroed out. So I'm going to first make a recipe that's going to make about 5 10-ounce dough balls. We're going to use 28 ounces of flour, and that's by weight. And then we're going to use about 20 ounces of water, which is about 68 to 70% hydration. And then I'll go from there and get this puppy rolling. Okay, I wanted to show you, we use All Trump's Baker's High Gluten flour for the flour. And we used the dough hook on the mixer, and I added 2 teaspoons of salt to the 28.4 ounces of flour. And I'm going to mix this slowly just to get it blended and get that blended before we add the yeast and water to the flour. Okay, so I got my 1.5 teaspoons of dry active yeast in a cup of warm water. I've got 19.8 ounces of water. I've got 28.4 ounces of flour. That gives us about a 69-70% hydration. We're going to wait 10 minutes and let the yeast bloom, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's ready. But that water is just water and yeast. You don't have to add sugar. A lot of these guys say, oh, you need sugar in there to let the yeast bloom. It's really unnecessary. You do not need to add sugar. I don't add sugar. I use 3 basic ingredients. That's the flour, the water, and the yeast, and salt, and that's it. Okay, it's been over 5 minutes, and you can see the bloom starting to pile up to the top of the cup. So we're about ready. A couple more minutes, and we're going to add this to the flour and salt mixture into the blender. And then we'll mix it for about 10 minutes with the dough hook on slow. Okay, so now we're mixing the dough in the mixer. I'll take a spatula and try and go around the edges just to get the dry flour mixed in. And this will run for about 10 minutes until we get a good texture. Sometimes you have to add a little bit of flour or a little bit of water depending on if it's too wet or too dry. We'll see after about 10 minutes what it looks like. Okay. Just wanted to show you what it looks like when it's about ready after 10 minutes of mixing in the bowl. The sides are pretty clean on the bowl. The bottom's still a little sticky, but that's okay. What we're going to do is we're going to lift this up, pull off all the dough off the dough hook, and then we're going to fold that dough over and turn it into a big dough ball. So I like to let it work its way off the dough hook on its own a little bit. Turn it off. And then I'll just take the dough off the hook. It's a little sticky at this point. You could wet your hands to get rid of the stickiness. Now I'm going to get it out of this bowl, put it over there and show you how we fold the dough. The dough out of the mixer. Now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of fold it in half like this. I put some flour on the table. We're going to fold it in half, fold it in half. Just keep folding it in half and working it down. It's kind of a form of kneading, but you're not going to overwork the dough too much. But you want to get it where it tightens up as a dough ball. So I'm folding in half, folding in half. If you notice, it's starting to tighten up as a dough ball. And you can feel the dough start to get a little bit more strength. And that's it. I got it ready to go in. It's going to be like this. And I'm going to put it into this bowl here that I'm going to pre-oil with some EVOO. And then once we get it in the bowl, we're going to proof it in the oven. Put the oven light on for 15 minutes. So we put the dough ball inside here, like that. That's it. And then I'm going to put it in the oven. Okay. It's been in the oven proofing for 2 hours. Take a look and see what we got. As you can see, it's grown big. Now we're going to take it out, and then we're going to fold in the extra virgin olive oil, and then we're going to put it back in the oven for roll in the oil thoroughly, and then put it back in the oven for another hour proofing. Okay, we just got it out of the oven. It's proofed for an hour with a tight lid on it. Take a look and see, this is after we've folded in all the olive oil. Next, we're gonna cut it into about 5 10-ounce dough balls. Put out a little flour for it. We got our dough here. We got our scale here. If you look, we've got a 0 to 0. And we're gonna measure about 10-ounce balls. So we're gonna go, like there's 8.5 and just under 10. And there's 10 ounces. There's 1. 2. 3. 4. And 5. All right, now we're gonna roll these into dough balls. I feel like I'm on my first date in junior high school.
Why is that?
Watch my hands. And there we have the dough balls. Then we're gonna put them in this proof box. Put a little flour down first. And then we're gonna space them out so they don't touch each other. Dough ball, a dough ball. I'm gonna roll them into nice round dough balls. Tighten them up. 3, 4, and we got put one more in there. And that's the way you do it. Tony and Terry's pizza style, right there. All right, now we're gonna proof these for 10 minutes in the proof box in the oven with just the light on. And then when it's after 10 minutes, we're gonna take it out of the oven, put it in the refrigerator, and it's ready to go after 24 hours.